audience, all of you, that this is being recorded, so you, by being here, you submit to the fact that you're being photographed, as well as your voice will be recorded. And we shall start with the warrant, Mr.
Actually, if I could, Mr. Chairman, if we could just announce the ratification of the police union contract. We just need to announce that in public session. So.
Okay, in executive session, we voted and ratified the new contract with the police union for 3 years. Some of it is retroactive, but it's nice to get that done. So, and the vote was unanimous.
All right, on the warrant, we have 2 warrants tonight. Warrant number 1927, which is the second to last for fiscal year 19. On payroll, we had $659,210. Mostly the kind of the usual amounts. There was some vacation buyback and related one-time payments to police officers, and then on the bills payable side, the total was $663,541. The usual payroll deductions this week in the amount of $59,396. And then other items, we had $48,177 for portable radios for the fire department, which was a town meeting capital appropriation. $319,429 for purchase of power from MELD. And then down at the bottom, the second to last item, $32,806 was for the release of a bond for Lewis Drive. So not really town funds, but funds that we were holding that we released. And then the first warrant for the current fiscal year that just started last week, warrant number 2001, on payroll, very small amount, $43,104. The only payroll item on this first warrant is for non-teacher school employees. Some of them get paid through the summer. It did not include any municipal side payroll. And then everything on the bills payable side is one-time payments, our insurance and bond renewals for the new fiscal year, some software contracts for the new year, and our Essex retirement assessment at $1,842,982. So we talk about this sometimes during the February budget meetings. We typically budget a lower amount. We're given 2 amounts from Essex Retirement. One is if we pay it in 2 installments. We usually budget the smaller amount, which gives us an early pay discount. Saves us about $30,000 by paying it all up front. So makes a lot of sense for us to do it that way. And then of that, the amount that I mentioned, $1,842,000, about $364,000 of that is later charged to MELD for their payroll piece of the pension. So Sarah Wood has reviewed this and asks the board's affirmative action.
All righty. Do I have any questions of Mr. Sheehan? If not, could I have a motion to accept the warrants?
I'll make a motion to accept warrant 1927 and 2001.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I have a second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And opposed? None. Next, could I have a motion regarding the minutes for the open session on June 18th, 2019?
Make the motion to accept the minutes of the open session for June 18th, 2019.
Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None. Passes unanimously. Town Administrator update and report.
Just a few things tonight, Mr. Chairman. As most of, as the board knows, a few weeks ago we were forced to close North Liberty Street. Todd knows better than anybody of here at the table the impact of that. We opened bids a couple of weeks ago for that project. We had bid it out back in May. Bids came in a little higher than we had expected. We were projecting about $400,000. They came in at about $550,000, so a little higher than we had hoped. About $408,000 or so is being paid for by the state. So we'll pick up the balance, that $142,000 or so, with Chapter 90 funding. So we'll still go forward. We're meeting with the contractor next week to get going on that project. It'll still take place this summer, so not soon enough, I'm sure, for the folks in the neighborhood. So I'm going to skip over a couple of things. I think we'll probably need, when we first talked about our summer schedule, we talked about a tentative schedule that included July 30th. I think there'd be a few things that that there's a little pressure to take care of, whether it's the 30th or another time. It doesn't necessarily have to be the 30th, but I think we'll need another meeting before August 13th, which is our next sort of hard scheduled meeting. So I'll send out an email to everybody, see what everybody's schedule is like. I know that people have travel plans and all, so, but we'll need to do a couple of things. It won't be a particularly heavy meeting, I don't think, but there are a couple of important items. So, and if the board is interested, we could even probably do it in late afternoon or early evening if you wanted to. Last week we had a send-off for Sergeant Bob Currier after I think 36 years on the force. So we wish him a long and happy retirement. We'll have him in sometime at a future meeting to formally acknowledge him and thank him for his years of service.
Kicking and screaming.
Kicking and screaming.
He does not like to be recognized.
I know. He didn't want to be there the other day. But
He graciously.
he did. He did. He's a great guy, and so we'll miss him. I know the whole department will. So
That's for sure.
a couple of other people moving on. As I've informed the board previously, Susan Gannon is moving on. So we've Tanya and I are coordinating, mostly Tanya coordinating the transition for a new Council on Aging director, working with the staff over there as well as the council members. And so it's an interesting and exciting opportunity with a new building on the horizon. So there's a lot of interest, and we posted last week for the position. So resumes are due the end of July. So already a lot of interest there. And then a couple of meetings ago, we had Lisa Teichner from Tri-Town Council in. Lisa announced last week or the week before that she's also moving on. So she's done a great job with the council, and we wish her well. She's been there 14 years, I think. So Meredith Shaw, who has been sort of her right hand, is going to be taking over in that in the position of executive director there. So we wish Lisa well, and we look forward to working with Meredith. And then the last thing is on July 1st, the Essex Regional Emergency Communications Center transitioned to State 911. Rick, I don't know how that's been. It's been quiet from my perspective. So it seems like a pretty seamless transition. So it is now the North Shore Regional Communication Center, I think, is the official name. So
No, call it NESREC.
that's right. So we're optimistic. We think it's a good move. We're appreciative of State 911 for coming in and taking over and lending their expertise. There's still a lot of change going on. We're moving to a different CAD system, and that seems to be well received as well. So we'll keep coming forward with updates on all that transition. So that's all I've got for tonight.
Any questions for Mr.?
No.
All right.
Well, you say it's a little early to say, but where they are, preparing to go live with the new software system, the new CAD system, but we anticipate it to be an improved relationship than we had in the past.
Yeah,
Hopefully, most importantly, for the residents of Middleton.
right.
All righty, we'll go to our, are you Mr. Cuevas?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted, if you were a different item, I was going to take whichever one you were on, so I just want to make sure. All right, we have a transfer of a Class 3 motor vehicle junk license at 294 Main Street from Muzzacek Garage, Inc. to Express Use Auto Parts, manager Angel Cuevas, with a stipulation that the license will stay with the address and will only be granted to the business leasing 295 North Main Street. Come on up to the microphone and A lot of people tend to use this as a little commercial. I don't know that if you do retail or whatever, but tell us a little about your business and what you're going to do.
Well, my name is Angel Cuevas, and planning to, sell parts and do a little bit of, more like selling parts.
Is this a business you've done before?
Yes,
And where have you been located before?
in Peabody.
Peabody?
Yeah,
And how long would you say you were there?
a good 4 or 5 years.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And will you still have the Peabody location also, or are you moving everything up here?
No, I don't have the Peabody location. I kind of moving up here.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
So will there be any service repair, or is it just going to be
It's most
Sales.
likely parts.
sales?
Sell parts, yeah. Nothing. I have a small shop in Peabody that do repairs there.
But you do repairs there, okay, yeah. How about storage of vehicles, any junk, any additional?
No, that's gonna be over here.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, the whole, that's you in the back of the garage now with all the cars out there,
with with
storing all the
Oh.
old, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of cars out there, Rick.
Do you anticipate adding more cars to outback the lot than is currently there, or?
I'm sure. I'm sure. It's enough space there for a lot of cars.
Is there a limit of what he can keep in there? Andy, do you know that?
Yeah,
like a lot
so
of cost.
there's an old, the original license talked about, or limited it to the area that is fenced,
Yeah.
and so that carries forward. And that's how the motion should read, that's how the application is stated too.
Great. Do you have a draft of the motion note?
I don't, you can, I think you can move it as proposed in the application,
Okay.
because it does make reference to the rear portion that is located behind the fence.
All right. Do I have such a motion?
Yeah, I guess I'll make the motion to transfer the Class 3 motor vehicle junk license at 295 North Main Street from Muzzy Truck Garage, Inc. to Express Use Auto Parts, Inc.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None? Great. I don't know when your license will be ready, but
Yeah, if you want to check with us in the morning,
Okay, that's fine.
we'll have that soon for you.
Thank you.
and welcome to Middleton.
No, you guys.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Is anybody coming for the Vic license, or,
I
it's a half an hour, so I,
thought that there was.
okay, so let's jump
Early,
ahead.
yeah.
Let's, the next agenda item is on the 9th extension to the offer of purchase between Corbo LLC and the town of Middleton.
Just what it sounds like. We're getting close, and I'll talk about it a little bit more in a few minutes under, actually in the next agenda item, I'll talk a little bit about what's happening with the golf course property, but we're getting closer to the point where we won't need any further extensions.
Do I have a motion to vote to extend the offer of purchase for the 9th time?
Motion to vote to sign the 9th extension of the office to purchase.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Having none? Great, it passes unanimously. And speaking of the next agenda item,
Speaking of it,
how about the update of the master development process for the 105 South Main Street, which I'm sure everybody at home that drives by the golf course is anxious to hear.
we get lots of inquiries. So I know that, it seems like a long time ago that we had the town meeting in March to acquire the golf course. So we've been going back and forth, we're working through the details of the conveyance with the owners of the golf course. We have not taken ownership of the property yet. We're getting closer by the day. I wouldn't say that there are any particular problems. It's just a complex transaction, and we just want to make sure that both sides want to make sure that their interests are well served. Even though we haven't taken control of the property yet. We're still moving forward with the master development planning process, and that was the second part of the town meeting back in March. There was an appropriation to do the master plan of the property. We received, I've talked to the board before about this, we received 12 proposals from design firms. The Master Development Planning Committee ranked those 12 and identified 3 top firms. We're currently negotiating with the top-ranked firm, which is a firm called HKT. That takes a while too. Again, no particular problems. It's just making sure we have the scope right, the schedule, the fees and all of that. So we're going through that process. That's going to probably take another, I'm guessing it'll take another couple of weeks or so to go through that. And then we'll, part of the negotiation will be talking about the public participation process, which I know that residents are going to want to be involved in. There'll be multiple opportunities in various ways of getting into getting opinions from people. There may be surveys, and we haven't ironed out all the pieces of it yet. There may be surveys. There will certainly be public participation events to get input on how we lay out the property, where the buildings go. Is there a common in the front, or is there a common in the back, or what it kind of how it lays out. So that'll all be playing out over the next several months. Back in March at town meeting, I had laid out a tentative schedule, which I was maybe I was optimistic on, but I was also, I think, honest enough with the public to that people won't be shocked that the schedule is dragging out a little longer than ideal. We're unlikely to be ready for a fall town meeting for a fire station project. We'll still have a town meeting in the fall because we've got some other things that we need to do. But we want to make sure we get this planning process right. So we don't want to squeeze a 5 or 6 month process into 3 or 4 months just for the sake of meeting an arbitrary schedule. So we'll, as we get a little further along, talk about what the schedule will be for town meetings for fire station project. But you know, we're moving through all of the various moving parts. Like I said, the real estate transaction piece, the consultant selection and contract negotiation, and the planning process. So, you know, it may be that we look at another late winter meeting like we did this year in order to give it the attention it deserves outside of the annual town meeting. So, but that'll be a conversation that will go along. And then one of the things that I know the public notices, and especially the residents of Brigadoon notice, is that the golf course isn't being maintained. And legally, we can't maintain it because we don't own it. And there's a statute in Massachusetts that prevents us from spending public funds on private property without a public purpose. So as soon as we close on the property, we'll be in there to maintain it and you know, get it looking better than it is now. It's not a golf course any longer. It's not going to look necessarily like a golf course going forward, but we do need to you know, to maintain it. So still a lot of excitement around the project. Like I said, a lot of moving parts. Going to be a lot of conversations over the coming months and years. So, but just wanted to provide that quick update.
Great. Any questions from Mr. Sheehan? No? No. Is that Mr. Scarabee? Okay. Our next agenda item is an application for a new common victular license for Best Bagels, Inc., DBA Best Bagels, located at 181 South Main Street, Middleton, Mass., by Gabriel Scarbelli, manager. How are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty good today. Thank
Hey,
you.
As we tell people, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that watch us on TV. You're on TV currently.
All right.
So not only are we going to ask you questions about your business, but this could be a little commercial for you.
Okay,
So
good.
tell us a
good.
little about yourself. Tell us a little about the business.
All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gabriel Scarabelli. I'm the general manager of Best Bagels Incorporated. So we opened up our first shop in 2017 in Georgetown, Massachusetts, and right after that, 7 months after that, we opened up one in Seabrook, New Hampshire. So this one would be our third shop in operation. Well, my father came, started in the business back in '89, working for Larry Smith for a company called Finagle Bagel. I don't know if everyone's
Yep.
familiar with it. And that's when he went to New York to actually learn how to make bagels, right? So he worked with Larry for 2 or 3 years, and back then Stanley used to work for Finagle as well. He had the idea of opening up a new shop, and this other shop is called Bagel World, and he invited my father to be his general manager. This was back in '91. So my father worked with Stanley for 5 to 6 years, and that's where he met Silvio, which is his partner now today with Best Bagel. And so my father worked in the business for another 5 to 6 years, and then he opened up a restaurant in Somerville, Brazilian barbecue restaurant, and then back in 2001 he opened up Firebowl in Peabody, and we sold the restaurant in 2003. Moved back to Brazil for a few years, and when we came back, we started with Best Bagel. So yeah, we're very excited to bring this this new shop to everyone here and see how it goes.
Great. And what will your hours be?
So yeah, initially we would try off to open up very early, like we did with the other stores, and close up later on, in the evening, so 5 to 9. But as we're accustomed, we're gonna cut off those hours and probably operate from 5 to 4 p.m. So starting off for the first few weeks, we're gonna see how the how busy it's gonna be, in the afternoon and everything like that. So.
And what do you have in addition to bagels? Do you have like bagel sandwiches? What's kind of your offering?
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be doing, breakfast all morning, and then we're going to have lunch. We have beautiful specials, really big bagels. We work very hard every week to bring on a new special. So, yeah, we have, everything from bagels with cream cheese to bagels, with bagel cubano, and turkey specials. They're massive bagels. People love them in Georgetown. We're getting a lot of business in Georgetown and Seabrook, especially in Seabrook because of the traffic going up to Hampton Beach right now in the summer. People are going crazy, so we're excited.
Great. Any questions on the board?
No.
Great. All right. Do I have a motion regarding the common victual license for Best Bagels Inc. DBA Best Bagels?
Just going back to it, I apologize. I was looking.
All right.
I'll make a motion to accept the application for a new common vic license for Best Bagels, Inc., DBA Best Bagels, located at 181 South Main Street, Middleton, Mass., by Gabrielle Scarabelli, manager.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Passed unanimously. And when do you think you'll be open now that you're...
In 2 days. so probably Thursday or Friday, yeah.
All right, so we know where to get bagels on the weekend.
Awesome. I hope to see everyone there.
Well, welcome to Middleton, and
Thank you very much.
good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. The next agenda item is to vote to approve Pam Hartman to the Cultural Council with a term ending June 30th, 2022. Do I have such a motion?
I will make the motion to appoint Pam Hartman to the Cultural Council with a term ending June 30th, 2022.
Great, I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. It passes unanimously. Next agenda item is a vote to reappoint Michael Sliney to the Conservation Committee, I assume, Conservation
I saw
Committee. with a term ending June 30th, 2022, and he would be a regular member?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have such a motion?
I'll make a motion to vote to reappoint Michael Sliney to the Conservation Commission with a term ending June 30th, 2022.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Do I have any other further discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? None. Passed unanimously. Our next agenda item is new business.
We have,
I just want to let the board know that I've requested the town administrator to get in touch with the owner or current owner of the, what's it, Main Street Pub, just to get what's
yeah.
going on. I'd like to put a little fire under them to get things moving, with the idea that if they're not going to do anything, we might be voting to take back their liquor license as it's being fallow. It's at this point a pocket license, and I just want to make sure that things are moving along, so I just wanted to tell the board and give them an update, but I have them instructed to say that letter, send that letter. Any other new business for the board?
Is, just a quick, so is the July 30th pretty sure of a go for a meeting?
If people are available,
Okay.
yeah. I'll send out an email, but,
It's good with me. It's, I'm available.
okay.
Me too.
Is there a play or something you're in, or? Yes. Exactly. We didn't want to interrupt any of your close-ups, Mr. DeMille. And are we going into executive session on this?
No, there is no need for further executive session.
All righty. Then do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do I have a second?
A second.
I have a motion and a second. We stand adjourned. No need for a vote.